Hello Libra, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Libra for the week of July 18th. Now Libra, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go ahead and get a shuffle in here for you, Libra. See what we have going on for you. And I am using the Tarot Muka as well as the Higher Self Affirmation deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to purchase them for yourself. Now, it is still the case that less than 50% of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed. And so if you do watch my videos regularly but you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. Really helps my channel grow in a big way. All right, let's go ahead and put that right there. And let's also take 3 of these affirmation cards as well. We've got some sunlight coming in here on the table. So, all right. Libra. So, there's definitely a challenge here, all right? Not going to sugarcoat it. I am one of these, when I do readings, I don't re-roll the readings, so whatever comes out, comes out. And there's definitely a challenge here being presented to you. However, the important thing to know is you have a foundation of experiences that can help you deal with whatever is being thrown on your path at this time, okay? And it's going to be very important, I think, during this period of time that you rely on the experiences that you've had in the past in dealing with, I think, issues around communication is what's coming into my mind. So let's just go ahead and dive into this a little bit more here. So in the overall situation, you do have this Two of Swords card. So the Two of Swords is somebody who's feeling restricted in speech, okay? Two of Swords comes forward at times when people, I see this card come forward when people are throwing emotional daggers between each other, right? And so this is like a war of words. People throwing each one of these swords I consider to be like emotional daggers when you're in an argument, like in heated arguments or something like that, where it's like each side doesn't really know what to say to each other. That can come forward with the Two of Swords. This can literally come forward when there's an injustice in your life, right? Where something, where you've been hurt by somebody and whatever happened was just not, for lack of a better term, fair in that situation. And so that can certainly happen. You can see the Two of Swords come forward in workplace context when there's an injustice at work, when maybe people are ganging up on you or something like that. But it can also just, it's generally blindfold energy here. As you see, this person has a blindfold on, not being able to see the road ahead or having a lack of clarity in a situation, typically in a communication situation or maybe even a conflict. So let's just dive into this some more. So in the past, you have the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. So the Seven of Pentacles represents long-term situations. It also represents hard work. This is actually a long-term investment that pays off here. You can see that this person's harvesting their crops. You can see the crops here in the background have pentacles that are growing on the crops here. And they are deciding to take what they've built, take what they have. And this person's also contemplating a new direction or directional change in their life. This can say that your hard work has paid off, right? Many times we begin something and we can't exactly see where it's going to go. But the thing is, you can't get to this stage without first actually planting the seed, all right, when you get the Seven of Pentacles. And so this talks about you having been in something for a long time and sort of taking a moment to enjoy what you have. It is a card of hard work. There could be a situation, though, that you're in that feels like a drag. Now, this is showing up in the past. The thing is, you have this with the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a burden, but the Ten of Wands also represents experience, okay? Ten of Wands represents experience. Each one of these wands that this person is sort of struggling to carry represents an experience gained or knowledge earned in their journey of the suit of wands. 10 of wands does represent a completion. Okay, and so your hard work of the past can help you in the present. Okay, it's like you're not, this isn't your first rodeo. Okay, this isn't your first time around the block. You know exactly what you have to do. And I think it's falling back on your experiences and the situations, the unique situations that you've had, Libra, to really help yourself out here. Because in the future, you have the Tower and the Page of Swords. So I will say that this is a challenging combination. It depends on how you look at it, really. I try to take a more positive spin on the tarot, but this can be a challenge because we have this idea of the Two of Swords kind of in the overall position. The Tower can be a shock or an upheaval in your life. It can be something that maybe feels a little bit destructive. On the other hand, the Tower can simply be a revelation. It can reveal something important in your life. It can also say that you now have a blessing in disguise. You have a way out of a challenging or a less than great situation. And so that can also come forward when you have the Tower card. Just remember that. And so it really depends on how you look at it. The thing is, the Page of Swords can also represent disappointing news of delay. It could also be somebody who's a little bit challenging to deal with. In this case, it could also be you. I'm not saying that you're challenging to deal with, but what I'm saying that this could be any person who is an air sign, because the Page of Swords is an air sign. And so this could be you. On a more positive note, the Page of Swords can say that you may want to take a thoughtful approach to a situation and that you have the ability to take a thoughtful approach to a situation. And so sometimes, I just said this to Gemini as well in the Gemini reading, sometimes the best action is no reaction. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes the best action is no reaction. And I almost feel like saying this to you as well. I'm using a different deck of cards because I have multiple decks here, but this is a similar message. You know, if you know a Gemini or you have Gemini in your chart or you're dealing with a Gemini, you may want to take a look at that reading here as well. Let's go ahead and get some more details on what this might be. So you have the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Five of Wands, you have the Devil card, and you have the Hermit. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune here in the past, here's what I feel like saying. You've done something really nice in the past for yourself. Like it's not like you haven't been doing work. It's not like you haven't been following your journey. It's not like you haven't been a willing participant in life. Because the thing is, you have the Wheel of Fortune here as well, which the Wheel of Fortune is the wheel of your destiny spinning. It says that your destiny has arrived and you have to take advantage of the opportunity that you have now. But the Wheel of Fortune also represents change, just generally. There's undeniable change that happens with the Wheel of Fortune. It's just a matter of, do you want to take the change or do you want to stay where you are? Because there is this idea that the wheel keeps spinning. Change is inevitable, but change keeps happening type of a deal, right? So you have this with the Five of Wands. It's almost like some of you, there may be a cycle, okay? There may be a cycle that's being repeated here. I'm getting this idea of the wheel spinning, like the wheel cycling. There may be something that is sort of being recycled here. There's something that's coming back in for review for you to look at here, Libra. And I think, yeah, the way that you respond to a situation is going to be very important, as you have the Devil card showing up in the future. A Devil card is like a card of our shadows, right? This is something that we have to sort of get right in this lifetime. It's something that we have to work through in this lifetime, which we all have something, right? And the Devil might even come forward when there are issues around power and control on kind of, being kind of placed on you. So sometimes with the Devil energy, it's like we need to do what we can do to work through our own shadows and our own sort of lessons and allow other people to work through their own lessons. The other thing is you have this energy of the hermit as well. The hermit can talk about needing to take time to go within, inner solitude or inner knowledge, listening to the voice of your soul, trying to find the light within you. And sometimes it's best to take a break from the outside world and to spend time with yourself, to spend time in nature, to spend time communing with the universe, with your guides, with your spirit team. I feel like this idea that the best action is no reaction is probably very much in alignment for you at this time, Libra. Let's go ahead and see what else we have here. I mean, you can't even make this up. So you're the first person to have been using this card to get this card here, which is change. I embrace change as a sacred sign of life. There is always movement. Life is non-linear. There is always something going on. And it's pretty incredible. You have frequency. I choose the frequency I emit. Thoughts are electric. Your frequency is your life force. Emotions are magnetic. And then you have mastery. I choose the power I give to my experience. Emotion is the gatekeeper of memory. Yeah, like I said, there's something here from the past. There's maybe a bad memory, or there's a bad pattern from the past that you are being asked to not repeat at this time, because things are always in motion. And the world keeps spinning, Libra. The world keeps spinning. Cycles come in and out. I get the sense that there's something that you have the chance to sort of get right this time around, and it will be very important for you to do this. Let's see what this might be about. I'm very strongly feeling that this is communication. You have the World, you have the Four of Pentacles, and you have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. So, the world is the completion of a cycle. There's absolutely cycle energy here. There's always movement, right? Change. And there are definitely changes here. But the past, it's almost like, I definitely like this row. This is a very good row to help come in and clarify this situation. So, there's been, I will say, a Saturn type of energy in the past. The world is the planet of Saturn. Saturn delivers to us the hard lessons that we must learn. Okay, that's why everybody gets so afraid of their Saturn return in the astrology and in the spiritual community. Everybody gets so afraid of the Saturn return. But it's really just like a necessary part. It's sort of like a coming of age type of energy. And I feel like there was a harsh lesson here in the past. A Saturnian lesson here in the past that you had a chance to complete. And I feel like you've completed it, and it's important that you take those experiences of whatever lesson you learned in the past with you forward. I know I keep saying it, but it's very, very important. I also really want you, if this is resonating, I really want you to think about the frequency that you're putting out to the world. I choose the frequency I emit. I really think it's important that you become aware of the frequency that you're putting out to others in your interaction with others. Also just your inner thoughts, which really do project a frequency outward. You also have this Four of Pentacles. I think stability is very important. Do what you need to do to ground yourself. Some of you may want to go like in nature, go on a hike, something like that. I don't know why. That's just something that's coming in here as well. It's also the energy of hesitancy. But then you have the Ten of Pentacles, which is another completion. You have two tens and the World. That's a major completion. To get all three of those cards, you're closing something out here, okay? And so there's no need to fear. There may be a test in your ability to sort of close out this cycle, close out this chapter with being presented here with the Tower and the Page of Swords, but tests are a part of life. The Ten of Pentacles is a major sign of abundance and success, but it's also family energy. Let's see what else we have here. You have the Four of Swords and you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, so I think inaction or no reaction is the best action, okay? Said it like for the fourth time. but you can see that this person is healing. They are in a passive state. They are actually praying. So they are doing something. And by the way, healing is important work. Healing is necessary. But this person is not being reactive. Okay, they are healing and they are praying. So along with that, you do have this Queen of Wands. This is somebody who's confident. This is somebody who's courageous. This is someone who's unequivocally themselves and not trying to be anybody else, not trying to be somebody that they are not. It's also a major card of attraction. This person can attract whatever it is that they want into their life by being themselves. And I also think that that's important. At the top of the pyramid, this will all work out because you have the Sun. The Sun is the best card to find in a reading. The Sun brings joy, abundance, success, positivity, happiness into your life, all of those things. Also, obviously, like in our solar system, the Sun has a lot of gravity, okay? The Sun, it's a card of power as well. And also the Sun is a card of, is also a card of truth. Anything that is untruthful will be brought to light, and there will be sort of light that is shined on anything that is untruthful. The bottom of the deck, you have the Moon. Be careful of emotionally charged situations. Okay, this is very important, the way that you react to something when you have the Moon here, okay? And just recognize that I also like this. These three cards are incredible. I choose the power I give to my experience. So build on the experiences that you've had here and move forward in confidence, knowing that you can get through whatever challenge is being sort of placed in front of you. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.